All right, so here is where we go ahead and start trimming our fringes to where we want them. I'm just gonna kind of even these ones out by lining up with the 12-inch. I'm gonna kind of cut these in half. So see how long I cut this one is about 1/2 inch. So I want each of these to be about 1/2 inch. So the first one lined up. Go. This one about the same length. I just kind of use this board to keep them pretty even. So this is one of those details that you do before you wet finish, because you want your fringes to be what you want, what you plan. So if you're twisting them, twist them. If you're fluffing them out, fluff them out. If you are just doing what I'm currently doing, trim them up. So, but you could cut them a little longer or a little shorter. So with my entire project, I am not aiming for all of these to be identical. I want them to be similar, but different. So when you look at them, you're like, oh, I can see it, but they're not necessarily the same. So this is the back of one so far. This is the front. Now, obviously, once I'm finished, we can decide fully which side we prefer to be the back and which side we prefer to be the front. So here we are, cut another one off. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of cut it in half real quick, then I'll trim them both up because I feel like that would be a little bit easier. Actually, I kind of like that length. I'm just gonna even this one out. So you may decide that you like things to be a little bit more exact and a little bit more even. And with some projects, that's definitely something I prefer. But with things like this, I generally like them to be a little bit different because I see it as very whimsical, as kind of like a haha fun thing. So taking that and making them each a little bit different, to me, just kind of solidifies that nobody else is going to have these. These are really a conversation starter because they've got the little spaceship, and you kind of see it. So you got a little spaceship with the little beams going down, and it's just fun. And I'm all about trying to make my projects fun, because you can't have fun, what can you have? So I do try to keep them fairly even when on each individual one. Whereas, so like this one I need to trim up because this side's really short. But when it comes to the separate ones, I'm letting them be a little bit more different, because I feel like that just adds a little bit more character to them, a little bit more personality, a little bit more whimsy. Here we go. So in total I have 6, and this is off an 80-inch warp. There is some warp. There is some waste on each project that you do, and it's going to vary by your loom. With my particular loom and this kind of project, it's probably about 25 to 30 inches waste. I could calculate it, but that's a pretty good generalization of how much waste there was for this particular project. So the great thing about mug rugs is they actually do look like little rugs. So you'll notice after I did a few, I've kind of did decide on where I want my length to be, or my threads per hem stitch. And I kind of decided on roughly that's 6 threads because I just felt like that was the perfect size for these particular rugs, and I just think it looks really cute because it makes them really look like tiny little rugs, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted little spaceship themed rugs. And next time you'll see these, they will be, well, actually no, we'll go do this together. So after this process, what we do is we wet finish them. So we get them wet, we wash them. You can wash them depending on your fabric and your project. You want to wash and dry them how you are going to do it in the future so that they shrink to the proper amount. So with this one, I will probably wet finish it in the sink, and I will dry finish it in the dryer because they're actually a gift, and I'm pretty sure they will be thrown into the dryer whenever they need to be washed. So you could tell each one I did something slightly different because I did want to make it very fun. And we'll see how this comes out once it's wet finished. So here I'm just making a batch of warm soapy water to really kind of soak those in and separate them, wiggle them around just to where they can really soak in the water. And I'll probably let them soak like this for 15-20 minutes, just till I know they're good and soaked, and then I'll rinse them out and throw them in the dryer. All right, so here we have our completed mug rugs. I went ahead and trimmed them up, and I wet finished and dried them. I went ahead and just threw them in the dryer. So when they were on the loom, they were about 6 inches and by 4, and here off. So with the fringes are about 6 inches, so there was about a ½ inch worth of shrinkage there. And they're still roughly about 4 inches wide. So there wasn't too much shrinkage overall for this particular project, which is great because I did want them to be roughly that 4 to 6 inches, because as a mug rug, you want to be able to stick down your coffee cup and also have something like a muffin or a biscuit right here, just like some cookie that you can dip into your coffee and set down. So I actually did a few variations, and you can see to different extents. So this would be the front, although if you preferred the different design, there's the back, and it also has a fun little pattern. Now, the variations just because I like some options. These are not my cleanest edges, but overall, they're all pretty fun. And here is this one, which you can kind of see the color change on this end, but you see it far more on this side. And that is start to finish mug rugs. Overall, I'm very happy with how they came out. I do say a lot of times with mug rugs, you do want them to be firmer, but personally, I like a drapier fabric. So in the future, I might do a few less ends per inch, which would make it a little bit drapier. And I think the pattern probably would have stood out a little bit more if I had done that, or if I had used an even thicker cotton instead of an 8/4, I could have used a 3/2, which is just a bit thicker than the 8/4. So I have a few variations, so I have some options because I like variety. But we have all of our mug rugs here, and actually I'm missing one. I don't know what happened to it. But we have our mug rugs, so we can compare and really just decide which one we like the most. Why don't you let me know? Did you like the purple and yellow only? Yellow ships, blue background? The blue and yellow ships? Or I'm missing the other one, I think. So what was your opinion? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And next week I plan on starting on the rigid heddle loom. We're going to go over a few different things you can do with a plain weave. So I'm thinking maybe some color play with stripes or houndstooth, or maybe even log cabin. We'll see which one I decide on. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.